Hello, everybody, and welcome to Professor P's podcast. I'm Natasha Palumbo, aka Professor P. I'm known for evoking the essence of spirituality by bringing the energetic fire, activating the mind, and speaking the truth. I'm so honored that you are here with us today. I thank you for joining. This podcast is focused on entrepreneurship, empowerment, and energetics. You're going to find a wealth of information inside, guest speakers, and the Elixir, a dose of energetic power. So let us join in on today's podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Professor P's podcast. I'm so excited that you're here with me again today. I am coming in with another dose of Elixir, the energetic power. And I hope you've been enjoying my guest speakers. I love the feedback that I'm getting. Thank you for sharing out on social media. I love all those blasts that I'm getting and seeing. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today's topic is something that I think is very important for us to discuss. It's okay not to be okay, truth be told. Listen, there is such a thing as positive toxicity. True. Toxic positivity not only invalidates your emotional state, but it also increases secondary emotions. Please understand this, everyone. I want you to deepen into this thought today, that it is okay not to be okay. And right now, during this recording, it is the holiday season. We just closed out the traditional week of Thanksgiving, and now we're heading into the season greetings of all Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, and the like. And it can be a very sad time. And I need you to know that it is okay to not be okay. I myself can struggle during the holiday seasons. Holidays have always been a thorn in my side because I have been from a dysfunctional family. I have been alone and by myself since a very young age. I have bounced around from house to house. It hasn't been well. I need you to know something. Only about 25% people who live in our world are from what's considered a traditional family. 75% of us are not from a traditional family. We don't come from that two-parent household. We don't come from that perfect picture movie display of falsehood. We don't come from that. The traditional family looks much different today than it did back 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And I need you to understand that that kind of affects the way that we see the world. It affects the way we feel because media doesn't show you that. Media shows you all of the beautiful tinsel and all of the sparkly gems and all of the bright smiles and all the cocoa and all the coffee and all the Starbucks commercials that you can possibly digest, and it will make you sick if you reflect back on your own inner world and outer world, and it doesn't look like that. But I'm here to tell you that it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be your world, and you get the power to create your world. And in your world, you need to honor your emotions. You need to feel your feelings and free them. You need to know that some days you're not going to be okay, and it is okay not to be okay. I can remember saying this to my students one time as I was closing out some time with them a couple years ago and getting ready to take a sabbatical because I wasn't okay. I had to take some time off to take care of myself. And I told my students during a live lecture I had with them that it is okay not to be okay. And that one statement flooded in feedback from them that told me how much they needed to hear that. So maybe you need to hear that today. Maybe you need to hear that it's okay to feel the way that you feel. Here's something I want you to know. There are two types of things that happen during our winter season and in holiday. We have holiday depression and we have what's called SAD. SAD is seasonal affective disorder. SAD is a form of major depressive disorder that occurs in seasonal patterns during certain months of the year. That's what SAD is. SAD is seasonal affective disorder. And it is a form of major depressive disorder. And it's important to understand whether you have holiday depression or if you are sad. Holiday depression and SAD can be difficult to distinguish from one another, but the durations and the severity of your symptoms are usually your best clues. Now, here's where I'm going to go in with telling you a little bit about the difference of them. Holiday depression starts around November or December and lifts shortly after New Year ends. Symptoms are fairly mild. SAD typically lasts about 40% of the year, starting in late fall and early winter until spring and summer, often more severe and can be debilitating. Unrealistic expectations. We have unrealistic expectations in our world. Please know that this is something everybody faces, but sometimes even having high hopes for the season can lead to holiday stress and sadness. The over-commercialization of the holidays can create the expectation that people are supposed to feel nonstop joy and holiday cheer. Bullshit. I'm not supposed to curse on here. That is a fallacy, which can create pressure to feel a very specific way, adding yet to another stressor. Why am I not happy right now? Why am I not joyous right now? Because you are human and you are feeling your emotions, and I need you to feel your emotions. Remember, only about 25% of us live in a traditional family. That means 75% of us are living in a different world other than what you may see on social media. I think this is the counter to social media, is that we are beginning to see in social media other types of families that are there, friends who gather together, and families who are just single parents or no parents at all, that they have just come together in their own right. Our feelings are very important. It is very important for us to honor our emotions. We cannot be positive 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is not normal. It is normal to feel fluctuations in your emotions. It is normal to not be okay. These are normal things. It is normal to encounter sadness. It is normal to encounter great bouts of joy. This is normal. What is not normal is to continue to stay in a pit of despair. You have to know that you get to come out of these things, that though it is okay not to be okay, you don't stay there. But it is important to honor when you're not okay. What you do is you just hold space for yourself. That's it. Hold space for yourself. Allow yourself to feel the emotions that you need to. Allow yourself to have the time that you need. Rest, take walks, journal, deep breathing. Journaling out your feelings is so important and can be helpful to you. Resting, getting the rest you need, not buying into all the hype of the holidays, protecting yourself. Boundaries are to protect you and not to offend anybody else. Please know that you have rights to your no. A lot of times, this is the root of the issue, why we are so unhappy during the holiday time and during the seasonal depression time of SAD, is that we don't know how to say no. Our no was stolen in our childhood, in our trauma, in our abuse, in our rape, in our molestation. It was stolen from us. So then we grow up and we don't know how to say no. And God forbid we hear no. It crushes us. But I need you to understand today that you have the right to your no. You have rights to say no and you have rights to hear no. And no is a complete sentence. And no gives you boundaries. And no takes the pressure off. And no gives you the ability to stand up for yourself once and for all. So I need you all for your homework to go out there and start saying no. Yeah, that's what I want you to do. Who's going to do it? Raise your hands. This is my favorite part, you know. Raise your hands. Who's going to go out there and start implementing no? No. No, I can't make it today. No, I can't take you there. No, I'm not going to do that. No, you can't talk to me like that over dinner. No. And listen, a lot of times we come together with our families, but our families are very toxic and it's hard for us to be around them. So I need you to create boundaries for that. I need you to go in and get out. Family, friend, or foe, if they're toxic, they must go from your life. I'm sorry to be the bearer of this news. Actually, I'm not so sorry. I'm actually really glad I'm the bearer of this news. Somebody has to say it. Somebody has to say it. And if somebody has to say it, truth be told on my lips, I'm going to talk about it. We don't have to put up with family's bullshit, period. Yep, that was a complete sentence. We don't have to do it. You have to protect yourself. Here's another thing. Not only is it okay to not feel okay, it is essential. An abnormal emotion response to an abnormal situation. That is normal. We cannot simply pick the emotions we want to have. It doesn't just work that way. Remember that no emotion is permanent. Anger and sadness, just like happiness and joy, come and go. We need to let ourselves experience painful feelings if we ever want to truly let them pass through us. We need to let ourselves experience painful feelings if we ever want them to truly pass through us. This is so important. This is why people turn to drugs and alcohol, and especially during the holiday season, it's heightened. Don't do that to yourselves. We try to suppress the feelings. Do not suppress the feelings. You're making your body sick. The feelings, the energy, it's making your body sick. And you will become very, very ill. And your body is going to weaken over time. We have a trauma body. I've tried to tell you all of this before. We carry our trauma inside of ourselves, inside of our body, on our physical being. We carry this trauma. And it's a lot of times because we're not sitting here feeling the pain and letting it go through us. You have to feel it to free it. Don't suppress it and put a Band-Aid over it. It does not work. You become sicker. Don't try hiding your discomfort. You're only adding fuel to the fire. When we pretend that emotional pain does not exist, we send a message to our brain that whatever that emotion is, it is in some way bad or dangerous. If our brain believes we are in a dangerous situation, our body will respond as such. For example, we may experience rapid heartbeat, shallow breathing, and a natural need to unnecessarily avoid the misperceived dangerous situation. When we avoid any kind of emotional discomfort, even physical pain, we end up unintentionally making those feelings larger, louder, and more overwhelming. If you don't comfort or process emotions in an effective and timely manner, the science shows that it can lead to a myriad of psychological difficulties, including disruptive sleep, increased substance abuse, risk of acute stress response, anxiety, depression, and even post-traumatic stress disorder. It is okay to not be okay. Truth be told, you need to set with this that I've delivered to you today. You need to honor your feelings. You need to guard yourself and your life and your loved ones around you, your children, those who you deem to be overseers and protectors of. You need to set boundaries with your family when they are toxic. You need to speak truth out your mouth and stand up for yourself. You need to declare no as a complete sentence and rightfully yours to speak to whomever you need to. You need to take care of yourself. You need to love yourself. Get good rest. Take walks. Deep breathing. This is your homework. Your homework is to declare no to those toxic situations. Your homework is to learn to build your own life. Your homework is to know that you can't just be positive and joyful all the time, that it doesn't work like that in this life, that we have ups and downs, we have good and bad. It rains on the just and the unjust. Do you hear me today? You are in it to win it, however, and God has got you. God covers you in his wings. God protects and loves you. God has brighter days for you. God says, I will give you joy in the morning, but you will still mourn. Which means it's okay to mourn. There is a time to mourn. There is a time to live. There is a time to have joy. There is a time to die. There is a time to have sorrow. Do you see where I'm going? God tells us in everything in his word, there is a season for these things. I need you to embrace your season. And if you are in holiday depression, I'm sending you massive love. I am there with you. I struggled during this time. Holidays can be very sad for me. But I get my walks in. I say prayers. I reach out to God's hand. I get some rest. I do my due diligence to feel all those feelings and get them out of my soul. And I stand up and I declare the empowered life. Thanks everyone for listening today. I hope you received a lot out of that episode and are feeling energized and ready for whatever lies ahead. If you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate it if you'd share it out. Thank you in advance for doing so. Please also connect with me on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Natasha M. Palumbo. And until next time, be encouraged, be empowered, and as always, be well.